Oh shit. What's going on, folks? How's everybody doing today? It's been an interesting few days, actually. As you can see, my setup has changed a little bit. I'm in the dungeon. Let's call it the dungeon, shall we? That's what I'm going to call it. It's a room in the basement. Has decent sound. I don't hear anybody else. They don't hear me. Nice and quiet. Plus, turn off the lights and tell stupid, scary stories in the dark. Oh! Anyway. Excuse me, my throat's been bothering me a little bit. Yeah, past couple of days. Interesting. You know, sometimes you do things in life that don't affect you immediately, and they come back and they bite you in the ass later. You gotta be ready for those, especially if you're going through changes like I have, metamorphosis like I've gone through, and old things pop up, and they test you. They're like, yo, let's fuck with this guy. Let's see if we can get him to resort to his old ways. Because, you know, negativity is never happy when you leave it alone. You say goodbye. I don't want to have nothing to do with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I powered through it mentally and was able to keep myself from making the same kinds of mistakes that I made in the past, which I'm proud of myself for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not proud of a lot of things I've done in the past. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand people who are upset by these things that I did in the past, no matter what it was or what state of mind I was in or what substance I was abusing at the time. That's, you know, no excuse. It's no excuse. People are going to feel the way people are going to feel, and you have to accept that. You have to accept that. Not everybody's going to see your change and be like, oh, well, he changed. Let's just forget about all the shit he did in the past. Let's forget about that. You know, it's nothing. You'd be a fool to think that just because you've changed your life for the good, that everybody's going to accept it. You'd be foolish. And if you only change because you want other people to take notice of it or to acknowledge it, well, then you know what? You've changed for the wrong reasons. And your change will not be heartfelt. Therefore, you may fail and go backwards. But that's something that I've sworn to myself, no matter what happens, that I'm not going back. I can't. I won't go back to the way I was. I can't. That's just not, you know what I'm saying? I've come too far. I know a lot of you all, at least my, you know, people who subscribe to me and shit, the few of you that there are, and I thank you for it. You've seen me at my worst. You've seen me flipping out, ranting and raving, talking shit, yada, yada, da, 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 blah, 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 blah. I'm done with that. As you can see, there's no alcoholic beverages. There's no marijuana. Not that marijuana is a terrible thing. It's a good thing. If I had some, I probably would smoke some. But I don't need it, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You don't see me smoking no cigarettes. And, you know, it feels good to be alcohol and drug-free. And I'm not talking about marijuana being a drug. I was on other things. I'm not going to really get into detail about it right now because there's only just drugs, hard drugs. You know, not heroin, but the other one. Take your pick. But, you know, there came a point in my life where I said, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You're hurting yourself. You're killing yourself, basically. And you're hurting your family. You're hurting your kids. More than anything, you're hurting your kids. You're hurting other people, you know, mothers, spouses. passed away, but I'm pretty sure he'd be rolling around in his grave if he had seen his grandson. He had so much pride in destroying himself. He wouldn't be happy about that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come to terms. I had to come to terms with me. I had to look in the mirror. I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy that's looking back at me. I don't like him. And I don't like him because I don't like him. Not because of what anybody else has said. Because me, personally, I just don't like this guy. And I need to do something about this guy that's staring back at me because I can't live with him anymore. I can't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. It's time for me to make a conscious effort to change who I am. And I did that. And I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? I'm really glad. Because I'm happy about who I am now. And it's been so long since I could say I was actually happy about being me. Being in my own skin. Not wanting to be someone else. Or like someone else. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not going to bore you all with any more of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make it known that I'm your boy O. Still Omen. I still got a bad mouth. You know what I'm saying? That cursing shit hasn't changed. It's going to happen from time to time. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. But the ranting and raving, the one happy, I'm doing okay and I'm happy and I'm having a good time, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, this dude's flipping the fuck out. Or I'm sitting here like a zombie, all depressed. Tired. Done with that shit. Done with it. And I'm so happy because it's like the biggest weight lifted off my shoulders now. So anyway, I'm not sure. Well, I could do a live stupid scary story. But then I would have to change the title of this from Chillin with Omen to Chillin with Omen and Stupid Scary Story. Or I could just tell a stupid scary story. What should I do? I'm not sure yet. Let me think about it for like 2 minutes. You know what? I think I will tell a super scary story. I think I will. Yes. Let's get the music in the background playing. Just ever so scary. Set the mood. Shut off the lights. I'm not exactly sure what tonight's tale is going to be. I haven't thought that far. I haven't really thought that far. But I know that whatever it is, it'll be stupid, scary, and it'll be a story of sorts. Now, you wonder, why? Why is he in the dungeon? What is he doing there? What's happened? I woke up early this morning, the taste of dust in my mouth. I looked around, felt the hard, cold concrete under my face. Spiders scurried to the corner, up the wall, dust, cobwebs. I said, this isn't where I went to sleep. I was in a bed before. What the fuck happened? Well, I still don't know what happened. that reason, I've decided to tell the story from here. Long ago, maybe a few years back, there was a man. His name was John. Now, John, just like, an average guy, lived an average life with his average family, average children, average job. Everything was average. No special stuff. Like, he wouldn't stand out if you saw him anywhere. Just be like, oh, it's kind of forgettable. This guy John, he had a deep, dark secret. He preyed on the unknowing. Not a serial killer, so to speak. See, John was different. Besides being average, he had a proclivity for a type of psychic ability. We've all heard of psychic vampires. Well, he was something like that, except he would suck out your soul. Suck your soul right out. It's terrible. Leave you a husk, a shell, your former self. Now, of course, John's wife and children had no idea what he was, who he was. He went to work. He came home. He sat down at the table, asked the kids about homework, asked his wife how her day was, knowing that it was the same thing every single day. There's no change. Like I said, average. He'd go out at night. Bowling, he said. Bowling. That's not what he did, though. I remember. I just so happened to be leaving a bar one evening and stumbled out, drunk, fell on the floor. I heard sounds of footsteps coming towards me. I'm thinking to myself, oh God, it's the police. I'm gonna get in trouble. It's like the third time this week that I've been drunk in the streets. This has gotta stop. Shit. I looked up, like, officer. When I looked up, I saw this man. I had no idea who he was at first. Never seen him before in my life. Like I said, he had one of those types of faces that doesn't strike you as, it's not memorable. Memorable? You just don't remember, because you don't care. Anyway, as he got closer and held his hand out, smacked it away. Said, hey, buddy, I need your fucking help here. Shit. I'm laying down here because I feel like it. I'm not in need of assistance, buddy. Slurred my words. He said, you're drunk. Let me help you off this pavement. Out of this alley. It's dangerous. There are things lurking about that you're not aware of. Didn't know what to make of what he was saying. It sounded weird. But I took his hand, let him help me out. We began walking. He started asking me silly, conversation starter type questions. Hey, how you doing? Where you from? Blah, 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 blah. Had too much to drink, huh? Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Obviously, I've had too much to drink. Laying on the ground in an alley. Where are you coming from, since you're asking so many fucking questions? Bowling, he said, immediately. As if he had been waiting for someone to ask him this question the whole fucking time. Bowling! I said, oh, you bowl in league? I said, no, just leisurely bowling. He said, mostly I do it for the people watching. It's a hobby of mine. I like to watch people. I said, really? It's interesting, John. How did I know his name, you say, right? Like, because he never told me what his name was. Somehow I just knew. Like, he spoke in my mind. It was odd. It was weird. I started to notice this, right? Because he didn't even question the fact that I called him John, and he never said John. He just accepted it. That scared me. That scared me, you know? Because I didn't call him John just to be calling him John. I called him John because I knew his name was John. He told me his name was John in my mind. He said John! Anyway. Feeling a little nervous, I was, you know. Started to not feel very drunk anymore. It was leaving me rather quickly. It was weird. It's like something was removing the alcohol from my system. Now, so I'm walking with John, you know, he's telling me about his wife, his kids, his job at the factory, making glass jars, lids and things of that nature. Mundane shit. Nothing exciting. He asked me what I did. I said, hey, I'm unemployed at the moment. But I hold a license for pest control. The Orkin man. Sort of. But not really. Didn't work for Orkin or Terminix. But that's not the point, John. Tell me more about yourself. You seem like an interesting character. I was lying, obviously, because he wasn't very interesting, but I didn't want to be rude. He was, you know, walking me, and I was drunk, but slowly not becoming drunk anymore. So I kind of felt like I had him to thank for this. So, you know, I asked him more questions. He said, have you ever wondered what a soul tastes like? I was taken aback by this question. I said, what? What, huh? What a soul tastes like? No, actually, John, I've never thought of that. Never thought about that a day in my life. What, pray tell, does a soul taste like, John? Do you know what a soul tastes like? Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I have tasted many a soul. Many a soul. It was at this point I noticed his whole demeanor changed. He was no longer like this average guy who was helping me out that was boring. He intrigued me now. Talking of souls and tasting them. I was curious. I said, so, John, what does a soul taste like? Tell me, please. Oh, it's indescribable. It's something that you taste, not just with your mouth, but with all of your being. It fills you, caresses the very nerve endings of your body with a sensation unlike any other. It's almost like all feelings all at once, but it's different for every soul. Oh, there's a knock on the door. Who could it be? Who is it? Open it and come forth. Ah, it's my little one. Oh! Be careful, we're in the dungeon. It's dark. Now, John was telling me about these souls to taste, flavor. Got into it pretty deep. I was intrigued. I was. I wanted to taste this taste, feel the sensation that he spoke of. He said it was better than sex, better than eating a cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, better than the best steak and cheese sub in the world, better than a hot bubble bath after a long day's work, better than a massage, better than soaking your feet in a sauna with bubbles and steam. Better! said to him, hey, listen, maybe, one day we could hang out. And you can show me what they taste like. I'm interested now. You've got my attention, John. You're not as boring as I thought you were. Oh no, I'm far from boring, Mr. Mitchell. Far, far, far from boring. I'm actually one of the most interesting beings you'll ever meet in your life. And with that, he vanished. Poof. Like a wisp of smoke in the air. It was no longer there. Now, I'm standing there now, no longer drunk at all, completely 100% sober. I mean, I was so sober, I was soberer than sober. Like, if that's even possible, that's how I felt, right? Like, super clean, squeaky. I went home, sat down on my couch. I said to myself, was I just really, really, really drunk and imagining this whole fucking thing? Because, like, people don't vanish into thin air like a wisp of smoke. That's impossible, right? Yeah, impossible. It didn't happen. It couldn't happen. But it was when I was doubting my encounter, that all of a sudden, a voice spoke in my ear. It happened. Who is that? Who's speaking in my house? I looked around. Of course, there was no one there but me. My messy apartment was shady mess. I hadn't cleaned it in days. Busy, doing nothing. But I knew there was no one else there. I was perplexed, confused. It was then the voice said again, yes, I was here with you in your mind. I'm always going to be with you now. You were drunk on the ground, remember? I picked you up, talked to you of the taste of souls. You called me John. That's not my real name. Meet me tomorrow. Same place. Don't drink. I will show you the taste of souls. With that, the voice just stopped. It was a silence so deafening that it was noisy, so quiet. It was weird. Couldn't explain it. Like my whole mind was completely blank at this time. It was like a white piece of paper, ready to be drawn upon. I sat in my messy ass apartment. I decided I'm gonna clean this fucking place up now because it's disgusting. There's dishes in the sink, trash needs to go out, clothes on the floor, bed's not made, couch is a mess. Ugh, nasty. Started cleaning. But I was craving. It was like so many hours between now and that day tomorrow to meet John and taste the souls. I was fiending for it. I was like, God damn it, this has to happen. I must taste it. I must taste it. I couldn't sleep. I was just mind in a frenzy, but blank. I could think of one thing and one thing only. The taste of souls. And what the fuck was this guy that he could just vanish, poof, and talk in my mind? I mean, I've seen this in movies before, vampires, capable of doing things like that, but they don't take souls, they suck blood. What was he? What was this creature that I had stumbled to the ground and found? I didn't know. I was confused in my mind. It took me hours to finally fall asleep, and I did. Now remember, I have no job. So when I woke up, I had nothing else to do. Paced around my shitty apartment for Hours, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And then the time finally came. I walked, headed over to the alley behind the bar, near the bowling alley. It was then that I saw John. But he didn't look like John. He didn't look at all like John. He was it's hard to explain. He didn't seem to have a physical shape. It's more ethereal, like a ghost. But he was there. You know what I'm saying? Like he was there. But it was like he was there and he wasn't there. He spoke in my mind. He said, "Are you ready?" I said, "Of course. Why else would I fucking be here? Damn it. I've been waiting for this all night. Got me salivating. Ready to taste the soul, John? Ready." He looked deep within my eyes. Piercing stare. I could feel it burning into my brain. An image of suffering, pain, torment, and torture, unlike any I had ever felt before in my life. I was shocked. I recoiled, curled into a ball in the fetal position on the ground. Cried. Begged for him to stop. Begged. I begged. "John, what are you doing? This doesn't taste good at all. In fact, it hurts. Oh, I'm so scared." I went through so many emotions. Fear, anger, and others I can't think of right now. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. He said, "You must be prepared for the greatest feeling of all by having the worst feeling first. When you taste the soul, you must make sure that the soul is pure. It can't be evil. It must be good." I said, "Okay. Must be good. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? How do you tell which souls are good or bad? I mean, my soul's probably terrible. I've done some things in my life I'm not too proud of, John. So I hope you're not thinking of eating me." No, I don't want your soul. As you said, yours is tainted. Wouldn't taste very good. I've already sampled it. That night, when your drunk went away, I sampled your soul. Not very tasty, I must say. It was painful. Please, you need help. You should get some. But we'll talk about that another day. Right now, let's go find ourselves a juicy soul to taste." He grabbed my hand in his ethereal form, and immediately I became a mist like him. Floated through the air like wind. It was exhilarating. The feeling of passing through things and things passing through you, but having this, it's hard to explain, people. It was just exhilarating. It was like being everything and nothing all at once. It took a little bit of getting used to, of course. You know, it wasn't like I was immediately like, "Oh, this is great." At first it was scary. I felt like I was disintegrating and shit. But then I realized that I was still whole, although I wasn't whole, you know? You floated through the air. Oh, at an unimaginable speed. It was like the speed of thought. As fast as we could think, we were where we were supposed to be. It was weird, but Interesting. I remember, right? We appeared in this home, family, cooking dinner, enjoying each other, love, happiness, things that usually happen in families. At the table was a high chair, little 4-year-old child sitting in it, eating his spaghetti and meatballs, or mostly throwing them all over the fucking place. The family wasn't angry about it. They were like, okay, kids do what kids do. I'm not gonna get mad. It's fine, whatever. He looked at me and he looked at the child. He said, Matt, my friend is a delicacy. I said, what? Spaghetti and meatballs? He said, no, idiot. The child. The innocence, the good, the happiness, the joy. Imagine the way it tastes. I said, now let me ask you a question, John. I don't want to be like killing kids and shit. Is this gonna kill the kid? Not physically, no. But he will never be the same again. But you will have his happiness and his joy. You'll have all the good in one shot. Taste the soul. I was like, I don't know about that, John. I thought we were gonna eat people souls, not kids' souls. It's kind of fucked up. What's gonna happen to him if I taste his soul? You say he will be changed for life. Well, exactly how will he be changed? I'm curious. Well, I'll explain it to you as best I can. Have you ever heard someone say he had such great potential, then he ends up doing some crazy fucked up shit? Yeah. He said that about me. Yes, that's exactly what will happen. He won't die or anything like that. His life will just be changed, unfortunately, for the worse. He won't have the good in his soul anymore. You'll have eaten it and tasted it in concentrated form. It'll be delicious. You'll love it. I don't know, John. I don't want to ruin this kid's life. What if he grows up and ends up like a school shooter or something? He hurts others because of it. It's not for you to worry about. See, the unfortunate thing for you now, my friend, is you have to feed on souls in order to live. I've changed you. There's no going back now. So either you eat the child, or doom yourself to a life that is short and fleeting. Torment and pain like I showed you before, well, you will feel that on a regular basis. You'll want your life to end. In fact, you'll end it yourself. Taste. Consume his soul. John, listen, you're a cool guy, spiritual being of sorts, and I really want to taste souls with you. You know what I'm saying? But can't we try someone a little older whose life might not be necessarily heading into the great path of good, who might already be a little bit wrong? I don't want to ruin this kid's life. I don't want to do it. I won't do it, John. As soon as I said that feeling of torture and torment and pain and suffering and fear, all the terrible emotions that you can think of just washed over me. Despair. I felt tiny, curled up into a ball in the corner. Please. trying to make it stop. Oh, God. I can't take it anymore. I just want it to end. Taste his soul. It's the only way it'll end. It's the only way it will end. I stood up, hovered over his child, looked in his face. They couldn't see us, they couldn't hear us, they couldn't feel us. And immediately I knew exactly what to do to consume this child's soul. It was calling me. It was beckoning me. Taste me. Taste good. The joy. The happiness. I was hypnotized. Hypnotized. Immediately I reached my ethereal hand to his face, sunk my hand within him, and I could feel it, the soul wrapping around my fingers. I started to pull, closed my eyes, and I couldn't watch. I pulled his soul forth, to my mouth, and inhaled it. Oh, the feeling. Oh, God, it was like nothing I had ever felt in my life. I was hooked. I was hooked. An insatiable appetite came over me. Insatiable. I ate his sister and his brother, his mom and his dad. They weren't as good as he was, but his brother and sister still had a lot of good in them. A lot. It was like every drug known to man all at once. Every neuron in your brain triggering, every nerve ending in your body tingling. Oh, I felt so alive. I had that more. I looked at John. He had a sinister smile on his face. Sinister. I said, "Why, John? Are you smiling like that? Why?" I'm not too happy about the smile I see on your face. It's almost like you bested me somehow. What did you do exactly? Well, I lied, number one, about what happens to these individuals. They're gonna die. Painful, horrible, terrible death. See, once you've ingested their souls, your thoughts now control their lives. And since you've taken all the good, the only thing left is bad. So wait, what do you mean? I'm confused here, John. I'm confused. What's gonna happen exactly? It all depends on what you think. What you think is what will happen. And unfortunately, you wasted all that good energy on your high. So there's only bad thoughts left. You won't consciously think them, but they will be thought nonetheless. It was at that point the baby melted in his high chair. Like ice cream cone in the summertime. You know how the ice cream on the top, so it should drip down the side. So he dripped down the side of his fucking high chair, right in front of my eyes, in front of his family. They were just screaming. The mother was screaming, the father was yelling, the kids were just in fucking shock. They jumped out of their chairs, ran away. And as one of them ran towards the door, I thought in my mind, I don't know why I thought this. I thought, well, what if the door just swung open and smacked his fucking head off? And it happened! Pow! Wham! Knocked his head into his sister's head, knocked her head off. Her dad ended up catching both heads. Like, he's holding them. They have these looks of terror on their face. They're looking up at him. He's looking down at them like, oh, oh, oh. The wife, she's screaming. She's yelling. I'm thinking to myself, God, why doesn't she shut up? And then immediately upon that happening, her mouth parts fell off her face. Jaw gone. She stopped screaming. She's like gurgling, making this really gross noise. It was just God awful. God awful. The father's looking at his wife, his melted child, and his two headless kids. Well, he's looking at their heads, not their bodies. So he's looking at their two heads, and he is just destroyed. Destroyed. And the only thing I could think for him was, he's going to have to live with this for the rest of his life. So he didn't die. He was left to ponder, wonder, what the fuck just fucking happened? Of course, when the police arrived, they arrested him because, you know, you've got him holding two fucking heads of his kids and a melted baby and his jawless wife, who eventually died of bleeding to death. So they arrested him. They didn't know how he committed the crimes that he was accused of committing, but he was the only one there, so that was that. John and I whisked away. I was like, that was fucked up, John. That was really fucked up. Where do we go next? Hook now. Hook now. I was a soul addict. I had to have one. I had to have one. Crept in windows. Snuck into daycares. All my rampage was terrible. 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 This went on for days. Days turned to weeks. Weeks to years. Here I am now. In this dungeon. Where I belong. Where I belong. Nonetheless. Like I said, how I woke up here, I don't know. But belong here, I do. Maybe someone figured out how to trap me. I can't change to my ethereal form in here. I can feel the pain and torment coming. I can feel it. Next time you get drunk, stumbling about, and a stranger offers you help, tell them to fucking kick rocks, man. Tell them to kick rocks. You don't want to end up like me. Soul-sucking creature of the mist. There's no name for us. There are many.